Hey there, it's your boy. I'm back with another tutorial. With this tutorial, I'll be talking about a new script that I created called lock scene. This script is used to lock multiple scenes so that way whenever you accidentally press a button or you trigger a hotkey, it doesn't switch you to a different scene that you didn't mean to basically switch to. So basically what it does is it prevents you know mess it prevents you from switching to a scene that you didn't want to switch to basically. And with this example, I've created 4 testing scenes. You can see here they all have labels, which is 1 through 4. Oh, they did not, you're not supposed to say that, but we're just gonna ignore that. But anyway, so yeah, once you load the script, you're gonna get this user interface, and you can see here it says locked scenes will be displayed here. So the way this works is the first thing you have to do is go to the settings, go to the hotkeys, and then you have to actually set the hotkeys to make this work. What you're going to be looking for are this is the first option here called free roaming, and then the second option is called lock scene. The other one is called unlock scene. So with the first one, you could just put any kind of hotkeys you want here. For my preferences, I'm gonna just do this. So I have, for free roaming, I have Control Shift Z. For locking a scene, I have Control Shift X, and then for unlocking a scene, I have Control Shift C. The way this works is whenever you press the free roam, if you have a locked scene, it would make it so you can switch to multiple scenes and lock them or unlock them, so that way it doesn't soft lock you to one specific scene, or vice versa. That's what free roam does. It allows you to, it basically terminates the program until you press the hotkey again, and then it's going to activate it. And then the lock function here will basically lock the current scene you're viewing, and then the unlock will unlock the current scene you're viewing, basically, if it's currently locked. So to put this in the test, I'm gonna click Control Shift X, and then if I switched from test 1 to test 4, you would notice it jumps back to test 1. I'm gonna click again, test 1 to test 4, jumps back to test 1. Even if I jump from test 1 to test 2, it will do the same thing. That's because we locked we have the program activated, and it's currently locked to test 1. With this program, you could have multiple scenes. So if you could lock multiple scenes, like I said before. So if you go back to the script, you have to click the reload button to actually see the updated output. So once you click the reload button, it will show you what scenes you have locked, and it will give you the option to view it and unlock it. So you can see here I have test 1 locked. If I wanted to have multiple scenes, the only way I'll be able to do that is to go to free roaming. So to do that, I'm going to click Control Shift Z, and now I can switch to multiple scenes without the program soft locking me in a specific scene, basically. So you can say it does its job. So now the reason why you would go to free roaming is so you could, like I said, lock or unlock any different scenes. So for this example, let's say I want to lock test 4. I'm going to click Control Shift X to lock it, and then to activate it again, you have to press the same hotkey for the free roaming that you defined. So mine was Control Shift Z. And now if I go from test 4 to test 1, you would notice nothing happens. It actually allows me to do that. But if I go from test 4 to test 3, you'd notice it jumps back to test 4. Even if I go from test 4 to test 2, it will jump back to test 4, because those are the scenes that I defined. So if I go from test 4 to test 1 and jump from test 1 to test 3, it jumps back to the test 1, because that is the previously activated scene, and it's also a locked scene, so it focuses on that scene instead of focusing on the other scene or randomly selecting one on that scene. It just goes back to that scene that it was previously activated, that was previously locked. So yeah, that's how this works. And if you want to unlock it, so in this case, you can see when I go from test 4 to test 1, it actually allows me to do that. But if I click Control Shift C, and then I go from test 4 to test 1, and then I go from test 4 to test 1 again, you'll notice instead of letting me stay on test 1, it jumps back from test 1 to test 4 because we have unlocked it. So once you unlock a scene, it is not in the locked list, so it basically reacts default, which is just jumping back to the locked scene. That's how this works. And like I said, if you want to go back to free roaming, make sure you press the hotkey for the free roam, and it will allow you to, you know, switch to the scene. It basically terminates the program. That's what free roaming does. So if I'm in test 3 and I deactivate the free roaming, nothing will happen. But if I do switch back, it will switch me back to test 4 because I have deactivated the free roaming. The reason why it doesn't, once you deactivate it, it doesn't like activate the scene instantly, it's because it actually causes the program to crash. So that's why it doesn't do that. You actually have to do that by yourself. Like to activate it, you have to like interact with the scene, and it will switch back like whenever you select a different scene. You can see here, even if I select a different scene, it just goes back here. And that's how that works. So if I go back here again, you notice this user face is not updated, so you have to click reload, and now we get test 4 locked. Oh yeah, one more thing, like I said, you could unlock and lock scenes as well by using the I'm gonna lock all these 4 scenes here that I have. So if I reload, you can see I have test 4, test 3, test 2, and test 1. So I'm currently in test 4, but if I click view on test 1, you'd notice it actually jumps me back on that scene. And if I wanted to unlock it, I press unlock. And if I click this again, now it jumps me back here. Same thing, unlock, 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 and you're done. So if there's no locked scene in here and you try to switch to a different scene, nothing will happen. It will just act as default because you don't have any locked scene, so it's not really going to jump back to a specific scene because there's no sense for it to actually jump back to. So it does nothing. It just stays in default. So yeah, that's how that works. I don't really think if there's really much to this. It's just very simple. Maybe helpful to some streamers out there that have multiple scenes and they don't want to accidentally, you know, switch to a different scene. That's what this prevents. It prevents you from making such mistakes and all that shit. If you want to use the script, you can find the link down below the video on YouTube, I think. Yeah. I'll see you guys on the next tutorial or whatever. Yeah.